When you look at what are the actual rights of Irish citizens as EU citizens, well, as Les said, it's still not clear. But in our... Sorry.
Brad, I suppose at the heart of that's the pertinent question, but also is, what are Irish citizens' rights as Irish citizens? Well, because before the EU can legislate for us, the Irish government needs to legislate for us. I can apply for a passport and travel around the world. I can move freely at present around the island of Ireland. But beyond that, as the D'Souza case shows, the presumption is unilaterally by one party to the Good Friday Agreement is that despite what the Good Friday Agreement says, despite its legislative outcomes and its lodging at the UN and the EU and all the rest of it, the presumption is that universally across the board, all of us born 20 years after the Good Friday Agreement has been signed are British. And until such times as we then go to renounce a citizenship we have never held, we don't want, with the greatest respect, no harm, and that relates to everything you just said about competing nationalities and allegiances, there is a legislative requirement, and despite what the Home Office said, they're taking people through the courts. Yeah. They're defying the word in the letter and the spirit of the Good Friday Agreement by saying, actually, all that's well and good. So they're political, and the Irish government, and I understand it up to a point, remain silent on that. We're in the midst of a negotiation, and there might be a degree of sense in doing that. But there's no evidence for me that says, or indeed for the people who are having to go through this, that says, well, the Irish government are legislating for our rights in this circumstance. There's no evidence of it. It's not happening. So essentially, you are having imposed upon you a British citizenship, not just in that case, but also unless there is the legislative instruments required from this jurisdiction and from the EU that offsets and protects us against. So it comes back to Les's point. I'm not going to be a second class, I'm going to be a third or fourth citizen, class citizen resident in the North because of what we're seeing transpire, and also because the Irish government, who adopted constitutionally the Good Friday Agreement and all of its parts, aren't legislating for our rights. So I appreciate that's more of a point, but it's just one I feel strongly about, and it's one that these institutions and society and rights and civic organisations here need to absorb and need to understand that Irish citizens in Donegal and Omagh and Strabane and Belfast aren't quasi-Irish citizens, or somehow they're Irish citizens whose rights are in jeopardy at present. So we need the kind of mobilisation we've seen from civic society in the North amongst civic and human rights organisations in this state that says that is unacceptable, and that the Irish government need to, within the context of Brexit and the commitments they've made, protect those people. So to Brona, I'm Chair. Apologies.
Yes, Senator, and back to you, Brian.
I mean, exactly. But I mean, the point is that Brexit has peeled away and shown the lack of proper legislative and constitutional underpinning of the Good Friday Agreement, as Colin has just been saying. So there is an Irish citizen doesn't, by virtue of their Irish citizenship, have the right to live and reside in Northern Ireland under UK law. Now, that's what needs to be changed. The UK needs to legislate. Very likely the Irish government also needs to legislate. And what we would argue is that should be given international legal effect by a treaty. And it's that kind of thing that is necessary to underpin the agreement. And it's this realisation which, it's taken this 2.5 years of debate for it to become clear, I think, that there is not the same legal underpinning of the rights of Irish citizens as there are of British citizens in terms of their rights within the territory of Northern Ireland. And it's that kind of thing. These may seem abstruse legal technicalities, but as I think as your impassioned points have demonstrated, this actually goes to the heart of identity. And it goes to the heart of what the Good Friday Agreement was going to do, was supposed to do, goes to the heart of where it's not been fully implemented, and the danger that Brexit demonstrates towards it.